Sam here going into turn one. So he's got the 25 of Brandon Miller behind him, who just went through him a little bit. Sam does have an issue with being low on blinker fluid. Not sure if that's what caused that or not. Oh, Sanchez. Very lucky not to hit Sam head on there. Damn. So go down to the bottom lane to make it a 3 versus 2 on the bottom. And the outside line has just lost all of its momentum. Everyone going down to the bottom lane now. They'll be getting ready to reset for the next couple of laps, as we're going to have 3 laps left to run when Sanchez gets across the start-finish line here. But it's going to be interesting to see whether Harmon is going to push Sanchez to the win or whether he is going to make a run at. As long as nothing happens on this final lap, is definitely going to be the 72 of Joshua Durham. Alright guys, with all that information, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have some driver interviews. Hello everyone and welcome to the Michigan International Speedway. Welcome to the Gladiator 150 here for the Output Racing League on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. Thank you all for coming out and having a watch, as looks like we're getting ready for a pit party here, and got another big field of drivers registered for tonight's racing action. 32 altogether. So we completely fill up our leaderboard over there on the left once more. A lot of drama and a lot of things to come out of last week. Lots of penalties. In fact, Mark Pentecoff and Frank Isaacson will both be starting rear of field here tonight due to unclaimed incidents from last week. I think Frank's was unclaimed, and there was one on Mark for a last lap incident that we missed. But it looks like the field here getting ready to do a little bit of a pit party. There's Carl Kraus sitting in the 4th position. The 25 there, that's Jack Sanders. And up next to him, can't quite see the number as the camera is shuffling through the field. See the 9 of Slama, the 21 Thad Falo. There's a 38 Thomas Harmon, and the 24 Gaffel mentioned Frank Isaacson. The field is off and racing for the pit party here. There's a bit of stack up. There's a lot of stack up. And that has gone horrifically wrong. I think that all started with Jack Sanders there just not getting a great start. And that took out pretty much the entirety of the field. So they're going to have to re-rack that, restack it, and do it again. In fact, that did take out the majority of the field. There's literally only 4 cars on the back straight who managed to escape it. So it looks like we're getting racked and stacked and ready to go for a second attempt here. As we said last week, with how big this track is, it is practically a super speedway race all over again. Fuel mileage could be an issue. I think at about 32 laps to the tank, maybe 30 laps to the tank if you're out in front. If you're in the draft and you're saving a little bit, about 32, 33 laps. With this being I think a 75 lap race, you're going to have to pit at least twice to make it to the end. See Frank Isaacson in that beautiful autism awareness paint scheme, 67. That's Brian Chambliss, the 15 Ken Campbell. Apparently Campbell was almost going to race in BR tonight, decided the last minute not to. And I don't blame him on that. Also see the 22 Reggie Ortega, the 05 Scott Rickard back there. The 78 Brian Pizzakemi just up ahead. The 03, who is just starting to drop to the back. Maybe not. He's just going to sit right there. That's of course TJ Crampton. The field comes out of turn 4 once more. There's a 39 James Watson as well. Let's see what these guys have got. And they're racing. Much better start that time. Like no one ran into anyone straight away. Let's see if we can get a whole lap in with the practices. Someone's up in the fence, right towards the back of the pack. There's lots of 3 wide going on. Might even see a sneaky 4 wide here. The track is wide enough for it. Imagine if we went 5 wide. Geez, that'd be scary. There's the 05 Scott Rickard, last season's champion. He's trying to carve his way through the field a little bit. Oh, And there goes Griezmann around. That was off the nose of Slammer. Big flips in the back of the pack here. They almost made a whole lap. Perkins is involved as well. Didn't see who the other blue car was. Frank Isaacson just rolling backwards. Oh, another huge incident. Big time flipping. Ken Campbell in the 15, big time flipping there on the back straight. It's probably a good thing he didn't race in BR. If that's what's gonna happen. Oh, damn. Oh, that was a horrible flip for Ken Campbell there on the back straight. Not sure what caused that one. Looks like we still have some people who are mobile. Lieutenant Caleb Weekly's there. Got the 05, Scott Rickard. 39, James Watson. Ernest Marquez in this little group as well. He's just out there behind Ryan Pizzicami. Leading the way for these guys is the 13 of Travis Masia. And Andrew Perkins there as well. Oh, as sideways as Watson. He suffered the loose, and the loose one. But hopefully these guys can bring in the reins a little bit, and maybe we can have just a little bit of a nice race. We'll wait and see how we go on it. Currently Chris Champeau leading away at 39.366. Ryan Pizzicami there in P2, got Scott Rickard third, Andrew Hennessy fourth, Brian Chambliss in 5, Harmon P6, Baylor 7, Hernandez 8, Campbell 7, Baylor 8, Hernandez 9, Masia P10. Wondering who I missed there. And everyone who's done laps, so that's all the way down to 27th, Andrew Griezmann. Field separated by point. Well, now it's down to Joe Slammer. 0.538 of a second. So just over half a second separating the 27 drivers who have set down lap times. Of course, Cook, Collins, McCoy, Brown, Sisler haven't done laps yet. Field streams through. Probably about 9 laps left to go here in practice. They are doing, as I said, 40-second lap times. That's about 3 laps every 2 minutes. Thomas Harmon, he'll be looking for a decent result here. This is normally one of his good tracks for tyre saving, especially with how loose these cars are. Travis Masia, the sponsor for tonight's race. There's now just 5 minutes left in practice. They'll probably be getting the driver's briefing here shortly. the 43 by Shoemaker. Oh, big time slam into the inside wall. There's another one in the background just about to do the same thing. He saved it though. Kept it off the fence. And just pulled it up before Shoemaker. I think that was Jonas in the double O car. And here's Salama in the 9. Oh, and he's gotten loose. He saved it though. Nice save. I think we're going to be seeing a little bit of that as the race unfolds. Still only 28 people who will put down lap times. Field still separated by just over half a second. When you're mostly full throttle, that's to be expected. Very quick at the 61. We'll be looking to get a decent result here tonight as well. He's sitting there racing with Ken Campbell and Mark Pentakoff. Behind them, Bad Daylor, who I think is out on fresher tyres. Time is ticking away. Oh, round goes Mark right in front of Ken. I think they were attempting to do some kind of bump drafting practice there. Continuing it along in the front straight there. And Campbell, always up for some fun. There's a 12, Chris Champeau. He's been overtaken by Marquez and Sanders. There's Kemi running the high line, trying to use the momentum to hold on. Now he has the draft, but Sanders must have better tyres than he. Basically filed out just before turn 3. Van out again into the corner. As I can confirm, the drivers' meeting is currently underway. And we now have just under 40 seconds left until we cut to commercial break. So it's about a minute and a half left for practice altogether. So make sure you guys stay tuned for racing action here for the Gladiator 150 at the Michigan International Speedway. We'll be kicking off here very shortly. Just remember, coming into the race, the 24 of Frank Isaacson and the 5 of Mark Pentakoff will both be starting rear of field after incidents from the last race. So make sure you sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, because this is going to be a rip snorter of a race. Welcome back to the Michigan International Speedway for the Gladiator 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Qualifying is just complete, so it's time for us to now start going through our order, our grid for this great race. Starting off the pole, we'll have the 94 of Andrew Hennessy. On his outside will be Frederick Cremines out of P2. And there's Chris Champeau in the 12 out of P3. Jonathan Hernandez in the 2 car. He will be out of P4. P5 will see the 9 of Joe Slama. With P6, the 22 of Reggie Ortega. P7, we will see Caleb Weekly in the 10. P8, the 38, Thomas Harmon. P9 is going to be the 43 of Bryce Shoemaker, with P10 going the way the 15 of Ken Campbell. There's Travis Masia in 11th. TJ Crandon will be out of P12. It's got Rickard Andrew Griesbaum, who I don't know, it was Bryce that I wrongly called in position. It's Kyle Kraus, Andrew Perkins, 15th and 16th. There's Matt Sisler, Kyle McCoy. They'll be out of 17th and 18th positions. There's Thad Failer out of 19th. Corey Cook, he'll be out of 20th. 21st has gone the way of James Watson. 22nd is Jack Sanders. 23rd, there's Michael Dow in the 60. David Brown, he'll be in the 96 out of 24th. He's a newcomer this week. There's Mark Petticuff and Frank Isaacson. They will go to the back. So out of 25th, we'll have Austin Collins in the 74. The 51, Matt Horton, he'll be out of 26. 27th will be Sam Niederholm. 28th will be Bryce Shoemaker. There he is. 29th, Brian Pizzakemi. And 30th will be Jonas Marquez. As I said, Frank Isaacson and Mark Pentacuf will be from the back of the bus. Both of them having EOL penalties from last week. As the field is starting to get into order here. And it looks like Austin Collins is actually not going to take the grid. Something to do with a trash panda and some electrical appliances. And the power grid being knocked out because of it. The pace car makes a hard left turn into pit lane. 75 laps is the distance. And we are green. Fairly conservative start from both of the front row. Cremines instantaneously taking the lead as they were crossing the line. Just had that little bit of a better restart there. But the momentum goes away with the inside line, and Hennessy, as he just slides up and across the nose of Cremines. Cremines now trying to get back up on the inside for turn strain 4. Hernandez back there in third. What can he make of this as he follows Hennessy on the higher line? And it was Chambliss that we missed before out of P9. When we're going through the order, and Hennessy just had the lead at the line. And momentum with the outside line is pretty good around here, especially considering this is a fully momentum-based track. Cremines on the inside line takes the lead. And let's see what he can do with it here. They go down the back straight. And let me tell you, they're already doing better than all of their pit parties combined. By just completing the first lap and a half. top three is Cremines, Hennessy, and Hernandez. Start looking through the field a little bit here. We're now looking at Sisler in the 93 car. He is down in the 15th position. Move up to TJ Crampton. He's just in front of Scott Rickard there. These guys battling for 10th and 11th. Actually, no, it's not Scott Rickard. I'm an idiot. That's Andrew Griesbaum. Rickard's just behind them. They both have red and black cars, so the mistake is understandable. Like Crampton experimenting with some alternate dimensions there, popping in and out of reality. And so far, not working out his way just yet. And it looks like the 2 of Hernandez and the 14 of Cremines battling over that top spot now. And it's Hernandez who has the advantage. Look at the 12. Chris Champeau, he's still up there on the inside, trying to take any advantage he can get. They're trying to bump draft on the outside line is Cremines and Hennessy. Cremines stays on the outside lane. And everyone just looking a little bit unsettled there in that top group. Got the camera focus on Chris Champeau right now, as he is the first car who's side by side with someone. There's Reggie Ortega in the 22, just trying to help him along with a little bit of a nudge. And that's helped him to draw side by side with Hennessy. They make their way down towards turn number 1. Let's see all Jonathan Hernandez over Cremines right now. Side by side battle for for third. It's heating up. There's a lot of things going on throughout the back. A couple of cars getting loose, spinning down towards the apron. Don't have a caution yet though, so everything seems to be all well for the moment. Isaacson and Pentacup hasn't really made much ground up. After starting at the back, they're still pretty much there. Crampton's still experimenting with alternate dimensions. Hennessy trying to pinch down on the 12 of Champeau. And it looks like at this point it has worked. Champeau now falling back further as Ortega has gone around the outside. Now here comes Thomas Harmon as well in the 38 car. Hennessy is trying to look for a way under Cremines now. As in the background, I just saw a little bit of action. There is Andrew Perkins, who I just saw getting right down towards the infield. As this is a big angry group of cars right here. Go focus on crashes, and it's keeping us within this pack. There's the 10 of Caleb Weekly. There's a little bit of a nudge back there. I saw Hennessy, Perkins get a little bit of a nudge. I'm not sure who it was who was on his outside. I think that might have been the 68 degrees bomb, or it could have been the 93 of Sisler. The low car's still handling very weirdly though. Some would say downright evil as we go 3 wide across the stripe. Griesbaum, Perkins, and the 16 of Kyle McCoy. And now it's a Kyle sandwich. Kyle on the inside, Kyle on the outside. Andrew Perkins stuck in the middle with you as, oh, there's a touch. And there goes McCoy, spitting down to the apron. He'll be able to get back up and get back going again. He has lost out on a lot of ground because of it. Let's go back up towards the front. There's a two of Hernandez, the 12 of Chris Champeau, trying to work back past Reggie Ortega. So Champeau really just hasn't given up on that slightly inside line. It's second lane, as we like to call it professionally. As, oh, there's a little bit of a touch. Ortega's in the fence. Champ spat down to the inside. Champ managed to keep it going. Ortega is losing positions hand over fist. And I think he's going to have some damage on that 22 car. And where is he settled here? Looks like he's settled in about the 17th position. Ken Campbell was another one who lost out on a ton of positions because of that. From 7th to 13th. Go back to focusing on crashes. This has allowed our top three, Hernandez, Cremines, and Hennessy, to pull away a little bit from the pack. There's about 0.8 of a second between Hennessy and Harmon right now. If they're smart, they'll just hook up, work together, and try and pull away. Fight it out later down the line. This is just such a big, beautiful track. Like a 2-mile long circuit, I think. There's a 39, James Watson there, got very loose. Out behind Kyle Kraus, that is. Oh! What's happened here? Jack Sanders going around. He's just been center punched by the 43. Jack Sanders has gone around unceremoniously. Caution is out. Let's back this up and have a second opinion at it. He's racing side by side with a 97. That's Andrew Perkins. And what happens here? Sanders turns into the corner pretty early. And he goes very deep into it as well. And it looks like Sanders starts to slide up just in front of Perkins. Perkins stays in the gas. And just gives him that little bit of a nudge in the right rear. Around goes Sanders. But not completely around. He's just sliding there. Not sure where the caution has come out yet or not. Here comes the 43 Shoemaker. Nowhere to go. Into the left rear. And then into the 96 of Brown up in the fence as well. Couple of cars down onto the grass to try and avoid it. And that is going to be the first caution of the race. Jonathan Hernandez leading the way. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see how the pit stop cycle cycles through if we do indeed get pit stops. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Gladiator 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Jonathan Hernandez came into the pits in first, and it came out of the pits in first. Right behind him, he has Hennessy, Cremines, Harmon, and Crampton. A couple of cars still in the pits getting damage fixed. There's Sanders, Dow, and Pizzakemi. I think Pizzakemi's just come out of the pits, or is just about to come out of the pits. But everyone's still circulating in the race, with the exception of Austin Collins in the 74. As I said, a non-starter in this race. We start getting into the 2x2 formation. Have a quick look at the field. That's Hernandez, Hennessy, Cremines, Harmon, Crampton, Cook, Salama, Rickard, Jambus, and Campbell. There's Weekly, Griezmann, Kraus, Sisler, Champeau, Ortega, Baylor, Massio, Watson, Horton, McCoy, Shoemaker, Isaacson, Marquez, Niederhelm, Brown, Pentacuff, Perkins, Pizzakemi, Sanders, and then Dow at the back. Obviously, Collins, a non-starter as mentioned. The field at the back of the pack starts to get themselves sorted out and ready to go. Just remember, Isaacson and Pentacuff are still eligible for the Hard Charger Award. They were both the last cars to put in times. But they started at the back. They are still eligible, but it counts from where they qualified, not from where they actually started. As the pace car now pulls in, let's get ready for the restart here on the start of lap 17, which means 16 laps will be complete. And Hernandez goes in about the middle of the box. Gets a great jump over the rest of the field. Cremines trying to go with him. And unfortunately, Cremines could not get the best of Hennessy there. He's just got his nose in front of Harmon, as the inside line will prevail here in the first two turns. But then that momentum coming down the back straight, all too important here on the first couple of laps. Especially as the cars are still coming up to speed. You see Hennessy getting very defensive, just about running across the nose of Cremines. There's a 38 of Harmon right up on the tail of Hennessy, trying to push him along the main straight. 3 wide in behind these guys, as there's a little bit of a touch from the 03. That was Crampton touching the 61 of Cook, door-to-door style. And Cremines just can't quite get up there to challenge our leaders. Although as the run goes on, the inside will come in a little bit and then it'll fade away again. Harmon now pulling out of the draft. He wants to try and go for P2 on Hennessy. What can he do? Runs the low line nicely. It's going to be a side-by-side drag race down the back straight. But as you guys know, these things it's never sorted in the one lap. As now Jonathan Hernandez has started experimenting with some alternate dimensions. Cremines now trying to look for 3 wide for P2, and he's got there. They are 3, now they're back down to 2, still 3 for third though. As Corey Cook did not want to let Thomas Harmon get up and into the gap that was there. As they go 3 wide out of turn 2. Ramirez looked a little bit sideways there on the inside. He's actually lost out on a little bit of momentum because of it. And because of all that, the 61, Corey Cook looking like he's going to take over the third position here. Because he's got all the momentums on that outside line. And you can actually catch him live on Twitch as well. I think it's Coco USA. I'll have to double check it. But still, fierce battling here at the front of the pack. Fierce battling in the mid-pack as well, just behind these guys. Right around where the 67 is. And I'm just trying to have a look for where that battle is, and I think that battle is around the 13th position for Champo, Chambliss, and Weekly. And Thomas Harmon, who was looking really strong there on that restart for a couple laps, has stalled out with the momentum of the outside line being far too great for him solo running the inside line. Jonathan Hernandez continues to lead it. They're a little bit squirrely in the back. I was around the 21st position because I saw James Watson was the squirrely one, and here goes the pass for the lead. That's not the one that I want, neither is that. That is Hennessy with a big slide job on Jonathan Hernandez as they come across the stripe to finish lap 22. And here goes Corey Cook now with a big dive into turns 1 and 2. He slides up the track. Will he get it made? He will not. He'll be side by side with Hennessy. And Hennessy was a little bit loose that time, but so too was Cook. And Cook lost out on too much momentum because of it. The draft going down the back straight is so strong. Hernandez all over the tail of Hennessy. There is last season's champion, the 05, Scott Rickett as well. He's trying to sneak his way into third on the outside line. As he gives the biggest of pushes to Jonathan Hernandez that he can give without spinning him out. Hernandez picks to the inside, nothing really doing there. Falls back in line on the outside. Here goes the 61 of Cook once more, diving it deep into turn 3, and he's got the run. He's got clear of Rickard in the 05, and he's just about pulled completely side by side with the two of Hernandez. Momentum with sides with the outside line though. Looks like Niederholm starting to experiment with some alternate dimensions. What happens when you see them go out of existence and back into it? Oh, there's a crash. Trying to look for who that was. I think that was a 12 of Chris Champeau involved. Caution is out. It was Ken Campbell as well. What happened here is they come off a turn 2. They got Campbell in front of Champeau. They come out turn 2. It looks like Champ is pretty sideways there. The Champ's got it under control. Oh, it was a tail whip from the 03 of Crampton. And it was probably mostly netcode there, and that sent the 15 into a spin right in front of Champeau. Nowhere to go. Both of these guys, the innocent party in that. And oh no, this is going to be a big crunch for Champ into the inside fence. 3 wheels off the ground. Somehow, the 15 of Campbell pulls it up before he makes any kind of contact with the fence. But that is going to be the second caution of the race. There's Hennessy leading the way as we reach the 25 lap complete mark. original scheduled distance of this race is 75 laps, I do believe. Or 70, one of the two. So the fact that it says 81 up there is a sign of things to come. And as goes back to experimenting with some alternate dimensions. Let's hope the damage isn't too bad on the nose of the 12 car. It looks like everyone might be coming in to stop again. Remember, they still won't be able to make it to the end from here. They'd still have to do one more stop. And that's just for fuel. And everyone, I mean everyone, has come into the pits. Not a single person stayed out again. Let's see if we can get a better angle in the pit lane here. There we go. 94 obviously with the best box. The best chance of getting out first. 2 tyre stops are possible, as there's a bit of movement going through the pit lane. And oh, the two of Jonathan Hernandez absolutely snookered it at the line. And he has come out of it with the lead once more. Jonathan Hernandez absolutely goated with the sauce. Getting into and out of pit lane like a professional. I thought that was going to be Andrew Hennessy's race off pit lane to lose, and it was. Hernandez, he found something there in that pit lane. Whether he didn't take a tear off or whether he was just a little bit better getting into and out of his box, we don't know. We'll be able to have a look at the order here. So let's bring it up on the screen once more. That's going to be Hernandez from Hennessy, Cook, Rickard, Cremines, Harmon, Slama, Sisler. Then we've got Chambliss and Horton as your top 10. As Griezmann, Ortega, Baylor, Weekly, McCoy, Kraus, Watson, Massier, Shoemaker, Brown to 20th. Marquez, Perkins, Isaacson, Niederhelm, Pentacuff, Crampton, Dow, Pizzakemi, Campbell, Sanders, and Champeau at the back of the bus at the moment. We're getting ready to go back to green to field in turn 2. Sanders still in the pit lane. Looks like he's just starting to roll now. Sanders will probably still have some lingering damage from that earlier incident he was involved in. As we come off turn 4, pace car make that hard left turn into pit lane once more. As we're nearing the halfway mark in this race. And we are green once more. Another really good jump there for Jonathan Hernandez in the 2. The 61 of Corey Cook was a little bit with it. Getting a decent start, getting side by side with Andrew Hennessy. Can he turn that into a big advantage here in turns of 1 and 2? All he's got to do is follow the draft of Hernandez and hope it works, and it doesn't look like it's going to work this time. Hennessy with the big momentum on the outside line is going to hold on to P2 for the moment. Scott Rickard there as well, last season's champion. Cremines right on Cook's tail. And it doesn't take much. Just takes that little bit to give assistance to the car in front of you. As the 94 of Hennessy all over the bumper of Hernandez, pushing him into turns 1 and 2. Saying, come on, I don't want to lose P2 here. Get a move on. And now that battle between Rickard, sorry, not Rickard, Cook and Hennessy is finished. In fact, Rickard also overtaking Cook here to take over third. Cook's going to have to jump into line in P4 there. Now we're going to set the camera to just focus anywhere and everywhere. All's looking calm right now. That's Jack Sanders that we're looking at. He's right towards the back of the pack as we move back up to Sisler. Sisler in the 8th position. So he's trying to work to the outside of the 9 of Joe Salama. There was a tiny little bit of contact there. But no harm, no foul play on. Reggie Ortega trying to make some moves as well. Up in the top 10. The 61 Corey Cook still stuck down on that inside line. He did have a gap earlier, but he's lost it. I guess he was trying to go for the move. And it kind of worked out for him, kind of didn't at the same time. The 22 of Ortega. Getting a nice run on the inside line there. Pulling in front of Matt Sisler in the 93 car. See what Reggie can do here as he pulls the inside. And he's looking a little bit unsettled, but Corey Cook doing the job at the front on the inside line. As that is not the right car that I wanted to click on. That is not either. Which one is it? This one. Corey Cook driven his way in the inside line up into P2. Here goes the 05 of Scott Rickard now making it 3 wide for P2. Putting Cook in the middle. He says, well, with how good this inside's running, I'm going to give it my try and see if I can take second. In fact, he's also trying to go for the lead, but it didn't work out for him. That super inside line just has no momentum. And just like that, he dropped right back to P4. But here goes the 61 of Corey Cook now, the Cookie Monster himself. Side by side with our race leader, the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez. As, oh, there's a little bit of a touch. As I think Hernandez was expecting Cook to run a little bit of a lower line. Either that or that was just both of them letting each other know that they're there. Now a little bit of remember me. So on the back straight we go once more. Ortega looking to make the 3 wide move. In fact, it's a 2 wide move on the 05 of Rickard, which now quickly became 3 wide once more. And he's gotten clear of the 38 of Harmon. Still trying to hold that super inside line for 4th. As Rickard not giving up the middle. He wants to stay in that middle lane. 2 of Hernandez down to the apron. Trying to make some magic happen, but the caution is out. And I think that is a 96 of Brown who's gone around at the back of the field. It is. Back this up and have a look at what happened to him. As they're coming into turn 3. He's racing with the 12 of Chris Champeau. There's a 5 of Mark Pentacuff there as well. Now, did something already happen in front of him, or was this something that involved these guys? We'll wait and see. Oh, and Chris turned down into him. I think Chris was expecting him to turn just a little bit earlier. And that got both of them unsettled up into the fence. Goes the 96 of Brown. More damage for the 12 of Chris Champeau as well. And oh no, the 60 has suffered some more damage. Mr. Dow. That's how that one has unfolded. And Corey Cook, if I'm not mistaken, is slated as our race leader. So that's pretty exciting. They've got about 10 laps in on that run. Remember, they only have 4 sets of tyres, I think. So the set that they start with and then 4 in the pits. And this is currently set of tyres number 3. For most people, that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see who pits and where everyone comes out. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action from the Gladiator 150 coming up shortly. Welcome back to the Gladiator 150 here at the Michigan International Speedway for the Aussie Sim Commentator channel with the Output Racing League, and we had quite a few cars that chose not to stop under that caution. Just a moment, we'll go through our list of drivers. In fact, we're going to do it right now. Jonathan Hernandez, the first to not stop. Scott Rickard in P2. Then there's Harmon, Horton, Cremines, McCoy, Chambliss, Watson, Massia, and Isaacson as your top 10. We go over the page now. There's Perkins and Pentacuff as well. And I think the first of our stoppers is actually going to be Kraus, although Kraus has just come in this time. It's going to be Pentacuff, Griesbaum, Baylor, Hennessy, Ortega, Salama, Weekly, Shoemaker, Marquez, and Niederhelm, Pizzacemi, Campbell, Kraus, Frampton, Cook, Sisler, Sanders all in the pits, down Champeau trying to catch back up to the field, and Brown, unfortunately, OUT out, joining Austin Collins as a spectator here tonight. So our top 12 did stay out, so that's down to Mark Pentacuff. Andrew Griesbaum is the first car who did stop, and it looks like he might have gone fuel only. So too for Thad Faylor. In fact, quite a few of these drivers looking like they went for fuel only, besides Pizzacemi, who's got damage fixed, Dow, who got damage fixed, and Chris Champeau, who went and got some damage fixed. Race car is going to make that hard left turn into pit lane once more. Here we go with the restart with 38 laps complete. And they're racing. Another excellent restart there for the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez. Super good restart for the 38 Thomas Harmon as well. In fact, he's trying to challenge for the lead straight away. Scott Rickard, who started outside front row, quickly dispatched to third. And now we're going to go 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. Hernandez trying the extreme outside. And up on the inside line, Scott Rickard with a huge run. He's got Cremines there as well. But unfortunately, they couldn't do anything with it. The 38 Thomas Harmon throwing that high line with Hernandez as a rear gunner now. I think Harmon got a little bit loose. In fact, might have just tapped the fence a little bit. Hernandez still right on his tail. Scott Rickard officially leading that lap with an audacious 3 wide move into turns 1 and 2 on the restart. And the caution is out once more. And I'm just trying to look for who it may have been. I'm not quite sure, but it might be Mr. Dow. So we're going to do a little bit of investigating here, see if we can find out what occurred. And it's someone in front of Dow. So let's just I backed that up way too far. Let's have a little look-see what's going on in front of these guys. Oh, that is that Failer on the 21 car who's gone around. And it even started before that. So what's going on here? What's the sitch? And it looks like the 43 of Shoemaker who's gone around. That's off the nose of the 22 of Ortega. He managed to save it. Oh, a little bit of a netcode contact there. Now, what happened to the 21 of Baylor from this point? So Ortega's going a little bit slow. Baylor, oh, he just got rear-ended by the 10 of Weekly while Baylor was speed matching with the 5 of Pentacuff. Pentacuff would have thought that maybe Ortega was coming back up the track. A big T-bone there. Sisler diving down to the inside, managing to miss the incident. And that's what's brought out this caution. So there we go. Baylor driving back up in a little bit of rage there. And Scott Rickard, for the first time, leads this race. And all of a sudden, it's starting to look a lot like practice with the pit parties, as Rickard has actually gone past the pace car for some reason. Next up, that's the pace car back by. Like a good boy. Now, season champion from last season. And none of the top group have decided to come into the pits. Weekly and Slam are the first ones to pit. Shoemaker stays out. This time it's the top 18 who decided to stay out. It's been a while since we had to do some investigating like that on an incident. As we get ready for the restart here, most of the order is the same as there is a couple of small differences throughout the field. So let's bring up our standings on the go real quick. It's going to be Rickard, Harmon, Hernandez, Cremines, Horton, McCoy, Watson, Chambliss, Hennessy, Massier. We've got Perkins, Isaacson, Griesbaum, Ortega, Pentecoff, Cook, Sisler, Shoemaker, Slammer, and Crampton. Marquez, Sander, Niederhelm, Dow, Kraus, Campbell, Baylor, Pizzakemi, Weekly, Champo. And then Brown and Collins, obviously OUT out of this race. Collins, a non-starter. We're going to be getting this restart with 42 laps complete. And I have already lost count of the cautions that we've had in this race. And you do get that with these big fields, especially when there's a little bit of netcode involved. And a couple of the incidents that we've had so far have been pretty netcode involved. I'm interested to see what's going to happen on this restart. The pace car is going to pull the hard left down into pit lane once more. What has Scott Rickard got for the field? And we are off and racing once more. He goes a lot earlier than the two of Hernandez did, but Hernandez gets a great jump on the restart. Pulls right up side by side with the 38 Thomas Harmon. He's getting a big push there from, I think that's the 93 of Sisler. In fact, no, it's the 51, Matt Horton, who's trying to vie for a third place here. Hernandez clean and clear into P2. And the way everyone's spread out, looks like we've got caution on the field once more. And I think this one might be for the 5 of Mark Pentecoff. And it is, ooh, a very second-hand looking truck. Let's see what happened to Pentecoff here on the restart. At this point, he was in 15th. There's Sisler and the 61 of Corey Cook on his outside. Corey Cook came down into the side of Sisler. And just straight into the back of Pentecoff goes Sisler. Puts him around. And does everyone manage to escape it? No, Jonas, nowhere to go. He gets a big piece of it. Oh no, so too does Sam Niederhelm. The 60 of Dow somehow getting through that with no contact made. Then right here at the back of the pack, Pizzakemi and Champo just check up super hard in an effort to not make any contact. And they do so quite nicely. But unfortunately, that's going to be big damage for the 5 of Pentecoff. And that's one way you go from 15th at the line to all the way down in 30th. So he lost literally 100% of the positions he was in. As the field's trying to catch back up to the pace car. The pace car's already halfway down the back straight. He's not playing around now. He's on a fuel budget. He's not going to lollygag for these drivers anymore. And I'm pretty sure if they pit from here, they can make it to the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll see how many, if any, decide to come into the pits. And whether they take tires or not. Welcome back to the Gladiator 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. And out of the top 10, only Scott Rickard and Kyle McCoy decided to come into the pits. A few more who are in the pits: Champo, Pentecoff, Marquez. I think Crampton, Pizzicami, and Sisler went to the pits as well. So a little bit happening there. But it's Jonathan Hernandez leading away from Matt Horton, Thomas Harmon. I've got Cremines. There's Watson, Chambliss, Perkins, Hennessy, Griesbaum, Massey in your top 10. Isaacson still holding on to 11th with Ortega, Cook, Salama, Shoemaker, Sanders, Kraus, Dow, Baylor, and Campbell as your top 20. Then Weekly, Rickard, McCoy, Niederhelm, Pizzicami, Crampton, Sisler, Marquez, Pentecoff, and Champo. Still only actually the one retirement from the race, who is Mr. Brown there in the 96 car. That's David Brown. And then the one DNS for Austin Collins. Going to get this restart with 46 laps complete. So time is ticking down and away. And before too long, if this keeps up, then we're going to start heading back into green-white checkered territory. As here we go, getting ready for the restart. Pace car is going to make that hard left turn into pit lane, and all the power will be with the two of Jonathan Hernandez once more. And we are green about halfway through the box. It was another great restart there for the two of Hernandez, and the 38 of Thomas Harmon. He's been watching the restarts from Hernandez and has been following him the whole time, but he's going to sneak his nose up to the inside here in 1 and 2. And for the first time, the 38 car with Avril Lavigne on board has hit the lead. Can he keep it though towards the end of this lap? We'll wait and see. Will we get another caution? Looks like things are still at race pace for the moment, as Cremines trying to battle side by side with Horton for the 3rd position. And in fact, Horton trying to turn that into a battle for 2nd as he's just edging his nose ahead. What can they do, as there goes Horton with the big move down into the lower lane, pulls it back up. Hennessy is back up into the top 5 now as he's just snuck underneath of the 67 of Chambliss. And it's great racing here at the front of the pack. Niederhelm still experimenting with some alternate dimensions. I'm so happy that we managed to make it a full lap and a half. And here goes the 51 now to the inside of Hernandez, looking for the lead now as he pulls side by side with the 38 of Thomas Harmon. This is when Harmon really needed the help from Hernandez getting down the pit straight. And here comes Hennessy. He's not just happy with being in the top 5, he wants to try and break his way through this field and go for the win. As Harmon got a little bit squirrely there coming out of 2, just about clouded the fence. And almost contact between Horton and Hernandez. As Horton now tries to get up underneath of Harmon once more, can't quite get there. He really held Hernandez up going into turn 3. And now he's going to go for the move down into turn 1. Will he pull the big slide job out? Down to the bottom of the track. And he's starting to slide up. He can't quite clear Harmon. Harmon will have the momentum down the back straight. Two by two we go. 7 cars battling for the lead right now. This time, Horton here's a who hits the lead. Now we've got Andrew Hennessy in the 94. He's looking to take advantage as well. But Harmon all over the back of Horton as Hennessy and Hernandez battle it out for what is the 3rd position at the moment. And if we had one more H name in the top 5, I would be very happy. But at the moment, it's Ortega sitting there in 5th. And he is looking to make some moves as well as he gets underneath of Cremines. And the 51 of Horton defending that low line like his life depends on it, which is not a bad idea. It seems to be the fast lane at the moment. As I said earlier, the high line is good, especially early in the run. But as the tyres wear out, that low line is going to come back. And here goes Hennessy now to the bottom of Horton. And will the 38 of Harmon go with him? No. Harmon says, screw you both, I'm going to go to the middle and get the double draft. But he's also defending from Hernandez, who's still sitting back there in 4th. As Ortega trying to take it away from him. It wasn't a very happy restart there for Hernandez, as both Harmon and Horton have managed to take the advantage, and now Hernandez slipping back to 5th. And yes, I'm doing this all very intentionally, using as many H words as I can. I'm very happy about it. As the 2 of Hernandez experimenting with some alternate dimensions, means it's time for us to start looking at another driver, and we're going to focus on the 22 of Ortega here, as he is on the inside of Harmon. Means was almost going to look for a move onto the inside of Hernandez, couldn't quite get there, as they're all going to continue to run that higher line. Now Ortega takes over the 3rd position from Harmon. And for the first time, we might actually enter lap traffic areas. I can see just up the field in front of these guys is the 5 of Mark Pentecoff, still reeling from the damage of that earlier incident. Harmon and Hernandez sitting there in 4th and 5th, and they're just working together right now by the looks of things. Just trying to make sure they don't do anything too horrendous here. But there are also not a couple of drivers that do things by half measures. Now Harmon, usually one of the fastest drivers in the field. Hernandez, absolutely tenacious with the way he works through the field. And he can harp on in an interview for a couple of hours too. Mark Pettercuff goes a lap down for the first time here tonight. And I'm actually surprised we got down through so many laps. We're currently just about to end lap 55. And here goes Ortega now, looking for the move, couldn't get there. But now Horton up the inside of Hennessy. And will Horton hit the lead for the first time? Not this time. Hennessy with the momentum on the outside, just being an absolute hero and managing to hold on to the lead. But now here goes Ortega down into turn 3, pushing it hard as he tries to make a move on Horton. Slides up a little bit, almost harassing the tail tank of the 51 car. But it's still status quo as Horton gets a huge run on Hennessy going into turn 1. Couldn't do anything with it. Halted was the momentum of Horton. As Hennessy, he got a little bit loose. That stacked up the field a little bit. Ortega looking to take advantage as he pulls to the inside of Horton now. And this has just become a 6-car fight for the lead as here comes the 61 of Corey Cook. Out of the middle of nowhere. Corey Cook with at least the same lap tyres, but he's good to go on fuel to the end. Might be carrying less fuel on board because of the way that he's been handling himself here. As Hennessy still led that last lap, but Horton looking very tenacious as we're about to catch up to Chris Champeau, who has been hampered in his efforts here tonight. Chris Champeau very close to going a lap down. His hopes were for a good race, but his hopes were absolutely dashed. As down a lap he goes, and there here goes Ortega looking for P2. Harmon and Hernandez looking to join him in the harrowing success of making it past the Horton car, but Horton manages to hold on from help given to him by Harmon. And I swear that it's probably not over yet. I'm not even doing it intentionally anymore. As Horton and Harmon hook up on the back straight here, getting the big bump draft. And that's definitely propelled Horton closer to Hennessy as Harmon has managed to squeeze his way into P2 as Horton is coming to the pits. I'm not sure what's going on here for Horton, but Horton in the pits. And is that his race done? Oh, he's getting the service. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think I've been stitched up. As Hennessy leads the way from Harmon, Ortega, Hernandez, Cook, and Cremens. That's your top 6. Gordon, a little bit of the Pied Piper here. When he zigs, they zig as well. When he zags, they zag back with him. Horton's gone a lap down. Chambliss is in the pits and McCoy is in the pits. Maybe I was wrong in my assumption from earlier about when people could pit and make it to the end. Horton has not gone a lap down though. He's just up in front of the leaders here, about 3 seconds ahead of Hennessy. I don't think the action is going to be quite over just yet, as here comes Chambliss and here comes Hennessy to the outside of Harmon with a harrowing overtake there to take over the lead. McCoy and Pentecost still in the pits. And the 67 of Chambliss with his stretched tyres, he's going to start carping his way through our leaders here to get his lap back. That'll leave us with just Chris Champeau being 1 lap down. As Harmon looks to the inside once more on Hennessy. 3 wide with the lap car. That's a bit of a harrowing decision as sideways was Harmon coming out of turn 2. A little bit too much angle for the dangle. One would hope the guys that pitted on that last pit stop would be in the box seat if everyone still does have to pit at least once more. Said there is only the 1 car 1 lap down as McCoy and Pentacuff continuing to sit in the pits. Not sure what happened to McCoy. But this is a 5-way battle for the lead as Cremines kind of fallen off a little bit and starting to fall into the claws of Crampton and Slammer. As here goes Corey Cook now, the Cookie Monster himself. Shoving it up the inside of Ortega to take over 3rd. But now, what can he do with Harmon and Hennessy? And don't forget, Hernandez still back there in P5. And it looks like the pace is starting to slow. We have caution on the track. Not sure who it is for. Might have to see if we can figure this out real quick. There's smoke on the back straight. I just totally hit the wrong button. Just looking at my mini map here for any clues on who it might be. And it looks like there is a lap down car who has been struck on the back straight there. So let's see if we can see who it may be. Oh, there it is, Chris Champeau. That, oh no. What's happened to Chris here? Coming through turn 2. That's Jonas Marquez just ahead of him. Looks like Chris might just lose it all by himself here. And he does. Gets super sideways on corner exit. Gasses it up to keep off the outside wall. And as soon as he notices that he's going towards the inside wall, he's fully locked up. Tries to roll off the brake a little bit just to try and get the truck to turn away from the fence. There's too much slide going on there. Does he make the fence or does he manage to stay off it? He stays off it. Good stuff. Not sure for why that would be the caution nose. Everyone seems to still be at race pace. Alright, caution's called, so that is the reason why we're under caution. The epic battle we were watching for the lead had come to a close, and this is going to help out everyone, except for, actually, this helps out those who pitted just perfectly, because now they don't have to pit again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a commercial break here. This will be the last one of the broadcast. And when we come back, we're going to see the results of the majority of the field pitting here, because this could get really spicy really quickly. welcome back to the Gladiator 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. And Brian Chambliss pitted before the caution, and he is now going to be leading the way. And there's a lot of different strategy going on. I can see a couple of people took two, those being Joe Slama and Kyle Kraus. They taken over second and third. And then everyone else has taken four, with the exception of course, Mr. Brian Chambliss here, who didn't pit. So we're going to go for a quick little fly through outfield, see where everyone is at. There's Chambliss, Slama, Kraus, Hennessy, Cook, Harmon, Ortega, Hernandez, Crampton, Pizzakemi is your top 10. It's Perkins, Cremines, Sisler, Watson, Griesbaum, Weekly, Fallow, Massia, Rickard, Niederhelm, Shoemaker, Sanders, Horton, Down, Marquez, Isaacson, Campbell, Champeau, who's a lap down, he's back out on track. McCoy and Pentecoff, they've been in the pits for a good solid while now. Both of them 10 laps down. And of course, Brown and Collins, OUT, out of this race. And I'm assuming something's happened between McCoy and Pentecoff. For both of them to have been in the pits for the same amount of time. As Pentecoff has just re-entered the track. So here we go, we're going to have 67 laps complete. And Chambliss has chosen the outside lane for the restart, which puts both the two-tyre runners on the inside. I probably would have gone the other way about it. That way all the four-tyre runners were, blocked by two-tyre runners. But that's just me personally. Pace car makes a hard left turn into pit lane. And he goes about midway through the start zone once more. Great restart. There's also a really decent restart for the 94 of Hennessy. And Corey Cook looking to make it 3 wide to the inside of Kraus. Can't quite get there, as Chambliss blocks the higher lane, making Hennessy go the extreme outside. We're going to go 4 wide. Oh, somehow they managed to all get through there. Slama with just his nose ahead, and oh no, big contact. Around goes Slama, and 67 as well, Chambliss. That's unfortunate. That's brought out the caution once more. Let's back this up and see if we can get a different angle on it. The Harmon falls out. He probably thought there was a gap there and tried to go for it, but then guess he just pulls in behind the 67. And it looks like Slama comes up, just taps the inside of the 67 of Chambliss. They're very lucky, because they went down to the apron. That could have gone very wrong very quickly, and we could have had just about an entire field caught up in this incident, as the 67 gets up on 2 wheels, just about blows over. But what we do get is the 9 of Joe Slama. He's gone all the way to the inside wall. He's made huge contact down there. Oh yeah, the front end of that 9 car is absolutely junk. The 67 comes to a grinding halt after just about having the goated strategy of the century here. And what this has done is this has left us with Andrew Hennessy leading the way once more. So, twists and turns will never end. There's going to be Hennessy, Hernandez, and Harmon as our top three. There's Cook, NP4, Pizzacami has worked his way up into fifth. Kraus P6, Cremeen 7, Crampton 8, Perkins 9, Watson P10. Unfortunately for Slammer, I think that is going to be the end of his race. And with Pentacuff and Champo being on track, he's going to finish behind them if they can keep it on track and at a decent pace. Looks like McCoy has pulled the plug. He's officially OUT out of this race. And there's only been 2 takers for the pits. Campbell and Chambliss. Actually, no, there's more than that. It's Campbell, Chambliss, Champo, Lama, Pentacuff. But Campbell and Chambliss for the lead lap runners. I think Chris Champo was the lucky dog wave around there. So he is now going to be back on the lead lap. And I imagine he's also getting some more damage fixed. Got to mention this before, strength of field in this race, a 31.15. So close to having a 31.13. The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to get another chance of getting going here. Like it'll be 71 complete, 4 laps to go. Fire order. Going to be Hennessy, Hernandez, Harmon, Cook, Pizzacami, Kraus, Cremeens, Crampton, Perkins, Watson, Sisler, Ortega, Griesbaum, Rickard, Weekly, Massier, Shoemaker, Horton, Baylor, Niederhelm, Sanders, Marquez, Isaacson, Dow, Campbell, Chambliss, Champo. That's down to 27th. That is all your lead lap cars. And we've got Slammer in the pits. Obviously, he's probably going to be out of this race. And Pentacuff 10 laps down in 29th. With McCoy a DNF, David Brown a DNF, Austin Collins a did not start. I'm surprised I got all that done on the back straight alone. As hopefully for the last time here, the pace car is going to get ready to make that hard left turn into pit lane. Hennessy leads the way from Hernandez and Harmon. Starting to trip over the H words. As we are off and racing once more. Great restart there for the 94. And also for the 38. So Hennessy and Harmon getting great jumps there. Not such a great jump for the 2 of Hernandez. He's making the most of it that he can. As they all single file out for the top 3. The battle is on for 4th between Pizzacami and Cook. Pizzacami getting a little bit of help there from Cremeens. As they try to get up the inside, and they do get up the inside of the 61. They're also kind of up the inside of Hernandez there too. And I'm not sure, but I think caution has flown once more. We got multiple cars stopped over in turn 3. I'm just trying to figure out who that is. I think one of them is the double O of Marquez. It is. Weekly is involved as well. What's happened here coming into turn 3? And Weekly actually much further up the track. Oh, we just missed it, whatever it was. So let's have another squiz at this, and let's also change the camera angle. It's racing with the 05. That's Scott Rickard. This is a battle for 14th. And I'm just looking at that, and Scott starts coming down straight across the 10 of Weekly. Horton nowhere to go, straight into the left rear of Weekly. And the extra couple of pushes here with the air already going underneath the 10 truck. Over he goes, onto his side. And then 13, Travis Massier, nowhere to go. He slides up to the top, and there is the double O, Jonas. Also nowhere to go, right over the left front of the car. All 4 wheels in the air for Jonas as well. There goes his front bumper. Weekly's front bumper gone. And both of them will come down for a grinding halt by the looks of things. Jonas rolls down the track. Weekly gets it going again, and that's going to be the end of Jonas's race right there. But it's still going to be Andrew Hennessy leading the way. And this is starting to become the race that never ends. So it looks like we're going to be going into our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish here. We only get the 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. So we'll get the 1 to green this time by. And around the field, that is Mark Pentecoff getting 1 of his laps back. He'll now be 9 laps down. Joe Slama is OUT out of this race. So he pulled the pin. Jonas Marquez looks like he's going to probably stay in 27th there. Although if my calculations are correct, then he might go close to losing 27th to Pentecoff. But we should get the 1 to green this time, which means we'll get the green flag on lap 75. Which will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Let's go through the order. It's going to be Hennessy, Harmon, Hernandez, Cook, Pizzacchemi, Cremines, Kraus, Crampton, Perkins, Watson, Sisler, Ortega, Griesbaum, Horton, Baylor, Massier, Shoemaker, Sanders, Isaacson, Niederhelm, Campbell, Chambliss, Dow, Rickard, Champeau, Weekly. And I've got Marquez, who's in the pits currently 2 laps down. Slama out. In fact, Marquez is now out 2 laps down. Slama out 6 laps down. Pentacuff 9 laps down on track. McCoy out 18 laps down. Brown out 39 laps down. Austin Collins did not make it to the green flag because of a raccoon. Here we go now. Hopefully for the last time, that pace car will make the hard left turn into the pit lane. The first attempt at overtime here for the Output Racing League, the first of 2 attempts. And we're green. Very early jump that time for the 94 of Hennessy as he's trying to pull away from Harmon and Hernandez, who in turn go side by side as they come across the stripe down into turn 1. Harmon actually holding on to the advantage there between himself and Hernandez as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Corey Cook trying to get around the outside of Harmon. So there's a little bit of sliding and oh no, Kyle Kraus in the pack. This is the big one. Oh, there's so many cars involved in this. Caution is out once more. Kyle Kraus, absolutely livid with how that one's turned out. Decided not to hold the brakes and he has sent that car to Narnia. Let's see what happened here. Let's get a different angle at it too. We've got the 7 of Kraus. Right behind him is Andrew Perkins in the 97. The 03 of Crampton on his outside. And the 39 of James Watson. So come out of turn 2. And it looks like Kraus just gets loose all by himself. Something else is happening behind. As a bumper went flying. Kraus got loose. Perkins probably nowhere to go there as they come out of turn 2. Although he probably could have been higher on the track. Into the right rear of Kraus. Who just absolutely monster trucks. I think that's Reggie Ortega. Up and over goes Kyle Kraus in the 7. Go for a more expanded view here. Griesbaum also involved. Got that Failor spinning in sympathy there. The 25 was also involved in this at some point. And there goes Kraus. Perfectly picks the gap, mind you. While he's out of control and going backwards. And this leaves us under caution for what will absolutely be the final time. Because now that the caution came out before the leader got the white flag, we will get a green, white checkered finish. And your top 4 hasn't changed. It's still Hennessy, Harmon, Hernandez, and Cook. Remains there in 5th. Pizzacchemi, P6. So Pizzacchemi lost out on a position to Cremines there. This is going to be an absolutely barnstorming finish. We still have the potential for an all three H last name podium. We also have the possibility of an upset here with Corey Cook, Frederick Cremines, and Brian Pizzicami up there in the top six as well. PJ Crampton, who has done well to get back up to P7. Watson, who was very lucky to miss out on that accident. So too was Horton. Has got a few cars who have come into the pits. Mark Pentacup is going to get another lap back here. So now he'll be 8 laps down, and he'll officially pass Joe Slama in the standings. Reggie Ortega, Kyle Kraus are both going to be possibly out of this race. Ortega is going to be 1 lap down in the pits right now. Kraus is 2 laps down, currently in 26th. Also got Champo and Matt Sisler in the pits. They're getting repairs done. The current order is Hennessy, Harmon, Hernandez, Cook, Cremines, Pizzicami, Crampton, Watson, Horton, Griesbaum, Macias, Sanders, Shoemaker, Niederhelm, Isaacson, Chambliss, Campbell, Weekly, Faylor, Dow, Rickard, Perkins, Champo, Sisler, Ortega, Kraus, Marquez, who is out, Pentacuff, who is 8 laps down, Slama, McCoy, Brown, and Collins, who are all out. Sisler wants to be a part of this restart. He's got to get a move on and get out of the pits. As the field gets back into 2x2 formation. We get the one to green here with 78 laps complete, which means we'll go green with 79 laps complete. And no matter what, if we get a caution before the white flag, that will be the end of the race. If we get to the checkered flag, that will be the end of the race. So here we go for the absolute, definite final time. Under caution into turn 3. Pace car will make that hard left turn into pit lane for the last time here tonight. Then we have 2 laps to sort it out. Hennessy, Harmon, Hernandez, Cook, Cremines, Pizzicami. That is your top 6. Who will take it out? There's a little bit of a stack up further back in the field. We're underway. Another excellent start there for Hennessy as he pulls away from Harmon and Hernandez quite nicely. 3 wide to the bottom. In fact, I think that's just about 4. No, it's just 3. That is Horton as he's trying to get up there. Cremines has gone around. That's going to bring out a caution. And that will end the race. Let's back this up and have a look at what happened here. What transpired. So he goes 3 wide with Pizzicami and Crampton. And just gets underneath the Cremines. Cremines gets a little bit unsettled. I think there might have been a little bit of a netcode touch. Around goes Cook as well. Cook with nowhere to go, down into the front of Horton. Cremines got cleaned up as well. How did the 39 of James Watson make it through that? Let's go back to Cremines. He has some more contact there. He slides up in front of Weekly. Weekly managed to miss him. You see the caution is clearly out by this point. But I'm going to back this up again. And so I want to see how did this car make it through this? Sideways in front of him. He turns right in a left-hand turn to miss the 14 of Cremines. He's pretty committed to the outside line there. Danger Will Robertson behind him. That is nuts that he made it through that. But that is the end of the race. And it is going to be Hennessy, Harmon, and Hernandez as your top three. Pizzakemi comes home P4 with Crampton in P5. And that was a wild ride to say the very least. The pace car is done with everyone's shit. He's already halfway down the back straight. But so we'll end the Gladiator 150 here from the Michigan International Speedway. And it was the Triple H show of Hennessy, Harmon, and Hernandez. Not actually sure who our hard charger is, but we'll find that out in a second. But what a way to end what started out as a fairly decent race. And it was only 2 cautions early. In fact, 1 caution early. And it just turned into an absolute crapshoot from there. There we go, as he crosses the line. That is the way the race has ended. We'll stick with Hennessy here as we get the results up on the screen after everyone crosses the start-finish line. It's Hennessy, Harmon, Hernandez, Pizzakemi, Crampton, Watson, Horton, Massier, Shoemaker, Griesbaum as the top 10. They've got Sanders, Isaacson, Cook, Niederhelm, Campbell, Chambliss, Baylor, Cremines, Weekly, Champeau down to 20th. Perkins, Dow, Sisler, Rickard, Ortega, Kraus, who finished out. Pentacuff 8 laps down. Marquez, Slammer, McCoy all out. Brown out, and Collins a DNS. But there is a very happy Andrew Hennessy. Not happy that he won, just happy that that bloody race is over. And I think the stewards are going to have some hard truths with some of these drivers about their driving standards, especially after last week going into this week. But there is a very happy Andrew Hennessy burning down the tyres and what's left of his gas. Burnout in the victory lane. And that is the way the cookie's going to crumble. Stay tuned. When we come back, we will have our Hard Charger Award winner reveal. And, you know, there's not really much to say about the top 3. They were pretty dang quick all night. So stay tuned. Hard Charger Award coming up shortly. Alrighty, it is now time for us to reveal our autism awareness hard charger. And today's hard charger started all the way down in the 21st position, coming home P6. Today's hard charger is going to be the 39 of Mr. James Watson. Now, James, he got stupid lucky. We were riding on board with him during that final crash. I don't know how he got through that without even getting a slight tap on the left rear, let alone being heavily involved in it. But well done to James Watson on coming home as today's Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. Um, Around a track like this, when it's all drafting, but not easy to make overtakes. It takes a lot to gain, just a few positions, let alone 15 positions the way he did. Started 21st, finishing in P6. Excellent job. It was very close between himself and the 24 of Frank Isaacson. Frank, who was the last placed qualifier out of the guys who set a lap, sent to the back right at the very start, and he managed to get up to 14 positions in front of his original starting position. So it was almost a tie there, but James just took it with that incident there on the last lap. Congratulations, James. Now, even though we're not going to do the big spiel about it, we're still going to go through our top three. Coming home in third was Jonathan Hernandez, and I'm sure if he was here to do the interview, it would take him at least 40 minutes just to digest the last 5 laps alone. 5 racing laps, it is, not 5 laps complete, just the 5 racing laps alone. So, he'd probably have a lot to say about it, but he'll be very glad to have a decent result here in P3. P2 went the way of the 38 Thomas Harmon, and Thomas, he'd be happy to just be on the podium, honestly. He hasn't been having a great start to the season, especially not with how chaotic the season has been so far. And he'll be hoping for things to clean up a little bit, but with next week being Richmond, that probably might not happen. And then today's winner, the 94, Andrew Hennessy. What can I say? He was class of the field. Started from the pole, worked his way back up through the field after having an earlier pit stop, which put him back in the pack. And he may have been challenged quite a few times, but no one could reign supreme like he did. But that is going to end things for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out and surviving through what is another very uncharacteristically wreck field race here in the Output Racing League. And hopefully we can clean things up next week. But again, next week we're going to Richmond, so we'll see. But until then, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Virginia.